everyone, my name is Kiani.
I'm Imani.
And this is 2 of the 4 from Rouge.
Haiti is over here behind the camera.
Hey.
And Aleka is there as well.
Hey. This video has kind of been requested by people from my Tumblr that have been asking me questions about when we went to Meet BTS in the summer 2014.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of Tumblr questions asking about it, and I made a couple of like posts about it, but I feel like a video would be better because sometimes typing it out isn't like, you know, enough.
So I'll start. So
I'll start from
the beginning, yeah, everything. Okay, so we don't remember the day, but we just remember, like, I remember we were gonna go look for BTS. We were like, oh, BTS is here, we need to go look for them and everything. And at that moment, I wasn't really like super BTS. I like knew who they were and little things like that, but that was like her bias group, so I'm like open to anything. So I went to her house, and I remember I wore this really weird dress.
It was my dress.
Oh yeah, with like flip-flops. I used to wear a lot of flip-flops, but yeah. And so we're like, oh, where should we go? And so we decided to go to the Grove.
Because usually everybody goes there.
Yeah, and
so we're there.
Yeah, we go and we're looking around, we don't see anything. So we finally go to Barnes & Noble and we like sit there for like 2 hours.
And we were like snooping on Instagram trying to see where they were.
Yeah, and we were reading stuff. And then we were leaving Barnes & Noble and we were downstairs like in the, we were like still outside of Barnes & Noble. And then she's like, they're with some weird rapper dude.
Yeah, I was like, who's this black guy?
And so I was like, who is it? Give me the phone. And so she handed me the phone and I was like,
bro, that's word G.
And she was like, my mom knows word G, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, and so we were like, kind of like trying to figure out what's happening right now.
Then you called your mom.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, I called her like right at that moment too. I was like, Mom, we, BTS or whatever, this K-pop group that we all like, they're hanging out with Warren G. And you know Warren G, so can you like see what you can do?
She didn't even ask.
Yeah,
she was just like, can we get like something signed or like make them say hello or something? Like,
yeah, because at first she's like, I'm not gonna call them right now. I'll call them tomorrow. I was like, bro, you're wasting time. And so she texted them. She texted them that same night, but she just asked to like, you know, just like, oh,
just
sign something.
Signed, yeah.
And then the next day, it was early in the morning because I remember I stayed up.
It was 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
To be exact.
I stayed up the whole entire night because I was watching a Japanese drama. And then like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now. My mom called me at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Warren G said you guys can come down there, be ready, we're gonna leave soon when I come back from work. And I was like, wait, can I take Imani? Yeah. And then she was like, yeah, you gotta call her and tell her now. And I was like, holy shit. I still had it, I was like not sure. Like, I was like, are we meeting BTS? And so then I called Imani, and I was like, Imani.
She called me like 5 times.
She knew. I was like, Imani.
All she said, I was on the phone, I was just like,
she knew.
Imani, go. It was so early in the damn morning. I had slept for 30 minutes. It's literally, I slept for 30 minutes and I woke up and I was just like, oh my gosh. She's like, we're meeting BTS. I was like,
yeah. She was like, what?
And my sister was about to leave from work. I was like,
oh my god.
And she was like, okay, I need to leave. Like, I'll see you later. And I was just like, I hadn't slept at all. Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then I told her to like, I was like, okay, my mom said after work she's gonna take us, so like be ready and everything. And then we were like, what should we do? Like, what are we supposed to wear?
Yeah, we talked for like an hour what we were gonna wear.
And I had like, my hair was straight. First of all, let me explain something. My hair was straight. I had pin straight hair because the day before it was straight. And I was like, oh, let me be cute and curl up my hair and put water in it. That's not what you're supposed to do. I mean, I've done it before and it looked really nice, but that day it came out so like crinkly and everywhere. I was like, I have to make the most of it. And I wore some dress and her shoes.
It was cute. The dress was cute. The dress was cute. I like that dress. I would wear that dress now.
Okay, but it was what's underneath the dress. Me.
What was underneath it?
Wow. I did not look cute, first of all. Let me tell you right now. I regret that every day of my life because I like Jin so much. And I'm so sorry that I did that to you. Every day of my life, I regret it. Okay, back to the past. So she was like, we were sending pictures through Instagram of like what we should wear and everything. And then I remember I was in the shower and I was listening to the album on the computer or whatever, and I got out the shower and I was doing my makeup and my phone was on the counter and I had music playing, and all of a sudden I like flung it off the counter and it like flipped onto the floor, and I picked it up and it was like glitching everywhere. I was like, oh. And then I was like, what do we
Basically,
do?
her phone broke and I was just like, I was on Instagram for like an hour crying. I was like, please come to me. Please
I went on the computer and I saw her comment on Instagram, but I was like, what am I supposed to do? I can't comment. And so then
I was so sad.
I didn't have a phone that day. Then my mom came home, so we were in contact the whole entire time, which was like hours. Like,
yeah,
it was a couple
and I was
hours.
like crying in my room by myself.
And then my mom came home, and she was like not even doing anything about it. She sat down on the couch and was doing work, and I was like, what time do you think we're gonna go? And she's like, well, Warren hasn't texted me the address, so I don't know anymore, Kiani. And I was like, knowing me, my stubborn, stupid self was like, fine, this. But I didn't say that to her. But in my mind, I was like, and I went in my room and I dramatically pulled all my clothes off and was like,
I don't care anymore.
and then I went in my room. I went in my room and I sat in the corner, and my mom was like, Johnny, let's go. He's calling us right now. And I was like, Mom! And then I had to grab a whole entire bag, and
She brought her whole bag of makeup. She brought a mirror, this mirror you plug in the car. And she's like, how's my makeup look? Am I doing it right? And I was like, what is happening?
And when we went to go pick her up,
you tell her?
Exactly. Well, I mean, at the time, I didn't wear makeup like that. I only wore eyeshadow. So then we went to go pick her up. My mom called her, and I was like, bruh, you have to have the shoes ready, and you have to be ready.
Like, and I was like crying.
And I was like, you have to sit in the front, you have to sit in the back and do my makeup.
Yeah, and I had to rush out the house, because she like called me like 3 times in 1 second. I was like, we gotta go now. I was like, okay, I don't have my shoes on. And then I called my mom like before, after Kiani hung up, and I was like, Mom, I'm gonna meet BTS, like Kiani is gonna take me to meet BTS, like what am I gonna do? And she was like, whatever you do, you better not cry or else I will slap you. Like, seriously. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try not to. And she was like, and don't forget your album, like it's on the table, like take it with you, like don't forget your album. And I was like, okay. And then Kiani came to pick me up, and we were in the car, and I brought my album, we were listening to it, and then she was doing her makeup, and we were driving to, where did we drive? Who's a white guy that we went to drive to, like he was your mom's friend.
We have to go up to the hills, because it's Marilyn Monroe's house.
Yeah.
I don't think she's lived in it yet, but it was the house that she was going to move into. And so we were driving up the hills.
Yeah, every time we turned, like, you would turn the car and be like, is that the house?
Yeah, and it wasn't the house.
We'd be like, no. And they'd be like, is that the house? And they're like, no.
Because she kept stopping a little bit. We were like, it's here. And then it wasn't
I have never felt like I wanted to, like, die so bad in my life before. Like, it was like nothing I've ever experienced in my life. And then we finally got to the house, and it was all the way at the goddamn top of the hill.
Yeah.
It was hot as Satan's asshole. It was so damn hot. And I had
sweating so much.
Yeah, and I was holding your hand, and I was like,
it was sweating so
was
bad.
like sliding off my hand, and I had a freaking like bulky army jacket on and like black tight sock thingies.
Yeah.
And I was wearing combat boots, and I was like, God damn, it's so hot.
Yeah.
And then we like got out of the car, and then the staff, I forgot what the guy's Yeah, me too, now I'm remembering it. I forgot what the guy's name was. He's really nice. He works with Subculture. Yeah. He has like glasses, and he has like black hair. I forgot what his name was though. Yeah. He came out first and was like, okay, we're filming right now, you know, BTS is inside the house, so we'll tell you to come in. And I think Ellen was out there too, and she was like, hi, Melon, blah blah blah, like, you know, we work with boys and stuff like that, like, you know, they're inside, so we're gonna take you in.
Well, she was like freaky out. She was like, bro, we're like gonna go inside. And I was like, I'm gonna look at this view. Like, there was like view
she
in
was
front
over
of
here,
us.
She was just like,
I was like, I'm gonna look at this
and I was over here like behind the car, like, oh my god, they're inside the house. And I was about to like cry, and I was like, please God, don't let me cry. I'm gonna look so ugly. Okay, so they were like, okay, you can come in now. And I was just like, my life is beginning right now. I have been reborn again. The sun came out. So I have been reborn again. So we were walking into the house, and the house is huge. The house is so fucking big. And the doors are like big ass like gates, not
elephant
gates, but like
doors.
Yeah, huge elephant doors. Like you're walking into like heaven. And we walked in, and it wasn't all BTS, thank God, because I would have like fainted. It was just Jungkook.
No, it was J-Hope and V. Oh, what?
Jungkook was there though, because
I saw V.
Okay, it was Jungkook, V, and then J-Hope, and then that black girl that was wearing the tribal, the tribal thing. They were like all standing around. And we just walked in, and it was quiet because they weren't filming, and they like people outside were like talking whatever, and it was like dead ass quiet. And then they just turned around like and just looked at us, and they were just like,
yeah, I remember it. I remember it now.
And they're like, oh wait, you guys have to come back out, like real quick, come back out. We're not ready for you guys.
Yeah. So like when I went inside, like I remember you went in first.
Yeah.
And I was holding your hand still. Were we still holding hands?
Yeah, we were still holding hands.
And she like walked inside, and then I stopped, and then I looked up, and all I see is like this, and I'm like, I saw V's eyes, and then he was just like that.
So
he's like
big. His eyes are like the size of saucers.
Yeah, like he had no facial expression. He was just like I was like, oh, okay. And I just stared at him, and then I remember they were like, oh, I can't
they were like over there, just standing there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And they were like talking to the girl. I forgot what her name was, but she was the one with light eyes.
Yeah.
And the Aztec dress.
And then they pulled us back outside.
And then they pulled us out. They were like, "Oh wait, come back out." And we were like, "What is happening?"
And we were like,
we were outside. We were like,
yeah.
And I was like, "Where's the Namjoon? Where's the Namjoon?" And they were like, "Okay, you guys can come back in now."
Yeah.
And this time they were sitting on the couch, and then your mom was like, "Oh, say hi to Warren." I was like, "Who?" Like I forgot like who it was, and, like who we were there to meet at first. And we were like, "Oh, hey," and we were like, "Thank you for letting us come."
Yeah.
And then we were like, "Okay," and then they were like, but like we turned around and they were like, "Oh, you guys can sit on the couch and just chill out."
But okay, so the couch this is the couch. I mean, they're like 2 or 3 chairs.
Couches.
Yeah, like right here. And they're like, "Oh, you guys can sit here." And there's a couch right there. So we're like,
that's the couch that they were filming on, and we were the couch right here.
Like they were not that
Yeah.
far.
So they were filming, so we had to be quiet. But one of their staff guys, like they all had big, huge cameras.
Yeah.
And one of the staff guys was over on this side. He was like filming us because like we knew the song "Boy in Love" and that's what the song they were recording was, and we were singing it and stuff and like singing the lyrics, and the guy came over with this huge camera, was like in our face.
Yeah. We were like, do we still sing or like what do we do?
We were like, okay, we're just gonna sing like right there.
Oh my god.
And we were like singing and stuff, and then he left and they stopped since they stopped recording, and there was a bathroom over here, wasn't there? There was a bathroom, and V went into that bathroom or something. But then he came out, and that's like the gummy bears.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I told people this on Tumblr, but he was talking to like the staff or something.
He was talking to Warren G.
Yeah.
And he was, because Warren G was like sitting right next to us with the computer monitor. Yeah, and he was like directing the video. And then V came over and talks to Warren, don't know what he was talking about, but he was just like
Warren
smiling.
Didn't even care.
Yeah, he's like,
okay.
oh, la, la, la. And then he like went over to us and he was like,
he had like a bag of gummy bears.
Yeah.
There was only like 4 left.
Yeah.
And he gave it to us. He was like, oh, present. And I was like,
and he was like,
here you go. And I was like, oh my god, his eyes are so big. Oh my god. And then he just walked away like there was nothing. And I was just like, wait. He gave us the gummy bears, and I hadn't eaten that day. I only ate like half a cup of noodles because I thought I was gonna throw up.
I didn't eat them.
So I was like, I'm just gonna eat the gummy bears because I'm really hungry. And a lot of people were like,
why'd you eat it? You should have kept it. And I was like,
I'm not gonna keep a gummy bear. Like, I'm gonna eat it because I'm hungry. And after that, they started filming again, and they were with the girl. And I honestly didn't even notice the girls until after, because I didn't know why they were there. Like, I didn't know what any of this was for, but I didn't really care because BTS was there. And so I was like, why weren't we in the video? Like, I thought we were gonna be the only girls here, blah blah blah. I thought they maybe had a chance that they would ask us to be in the video.
But okay, wait.
Yeah.
Don't I know you guys watch like American Hustle Life and everything, and they show you clips and it looks all friendly, but I'm telling you not to even be rude. They barely even talk to them. Like, no one was really talking to anyone. It was like everyone's over here, someone's over there. It's not like buddy. And I know you guys are like really like hardcore shipping.
Like, oh my god, ship,
but no one was really
like behind the scenes. Honestly, like it was mostly like Namjoon trying to be slick, but she didn't really care. Like she would be like, oh yeah, okay, and then Jimin would like say some weird and then she'd be like, okay. Yeah. And then she'd like walk away, and then when in between filming, when they would stop, but they would still have to sit on the couch with the girl with the light eyes and the tribal outfit on, they would just sit there, like, you know, just like.
Yeah, they were like not even. I'm not to be rude, but
not to be
really
rude.
like
it was
that.
True. Like they were like.
Yes, black girls winning.
Like,
yeah.
You know, it wasn't like that.
I don't understand how I'm not even like into this group. Like, I wasn't into the group at like that much at that time, but she's like, oh, I love them so much, and we go, and she's like able to like have full on like eye contact. She was playing like
I was doing Eggyo.
Yeah, with V, and he was like responding, and I'm just behind the couch like this, like I'm not gonna do this. I was like, I don't know what this.
After they stopped filming, I was like, okay, I need them to notice me somehow. Like, this is like, I need them to notice me. And V is usually like the crazy weird one. So I was like Eggyo battling him, and I was just like, like doing all these weird like peace signs and stuff, and he was like doing it back, and then Jungkook was like laughing, and he was like, oh, like pointing to me and stuff like that, and I like got like a rise from that, so I kept like doing more, and I was like going all out with it, and like people were like recording from like across the room, and I was like, oh my god, like I feel like a star. They were like all laughing and like being all cutesy and stuff, and I was like, yes, and then Kenny's just like,
yeah, I couldn't do it.
I was like making a face, and I was like trying to like call his name. I was just like Jungkook or Yoongi, blah blah blah. And then Yoongi, I guess he heard me say Yoongi, and he like looked up, and he smiled at me, and was like looking at me, and I was just like, it was like Jungkook was like looking at me, and he was laughing, and he was trying to get B's attention, but they're about to film, so he wasn't paying attention, and he was like staring at me, and I was just like, oh my god, like this is real, like I'm sweating right now, I'm so nervous. And then they started filming. After that, they'd finished their part with Christina girl, and then
They got up.
Was it Jin and J-Hope?
It was J-Hope and Jin, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then they went outside, and then Jin and J-Hope came out next with the girl with the white dress on, and she was okay.
Yeah, she kind of like...
She had like weird like facial features.
Yeah.
But she seemed nice though.
Yeah,
she seemed the nicest.
They were all really nice, yeah.
She seemed the nicest out of all of them. Like,
yeah.
She was actually trying to have a good time.
Oh, when they came out, Warren had said something to them. He was like, "Oh, this is."
Oh
your
yeah,
fans.
because he was like, because he saw my album.
Yeah,
I pulled it out. He's like, "Oh, let me see that." And then I was like, "Oh crap." And then they come out and they're sitting as Jin and J-Hope. And he was like, "Oh, this is their album." He's like, "Guys, look." I was like, "No."
They were like, "These are your fans," and they were like,
"Oh, they're like, oh, thank you." Hi. I was like, "Hi." He put the album down. He gave it back to me, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like now they're looking at us. Like, what should do? And like we didn't say anything. We just kind of like looked, and we were just like, "Okay." Okay, stop looking at us now. Then they stopped filming, and that's when Kiana realized her love for Jin.
I just spent the whole entire day looking at Jin.
She really did.
Like, she was talking to people, and I was like, "Where's Jin?"
Yeah, she was like, "Where's Jin at?" But I was like, "But you weren't even talking to him." I was like, "Go over there and talk to her." She's like,
"Can you just go talk to someone?"
She's like, "No."
I mean, I talked to people, but I would just be standing there trying to like side eye Jin. So they were like, "Okay, we're gonna move to the kitchen."
Yeah, you're gonna move to the kitchen.
And then so like literally, I'm gonna make the facial expression. So it was V and Jimin, but Jimin comes over to talk to V, and they're still in like the area where the couch is, and we're still in the chairs. And then Jimin comes in, he's all talking, he's like blah blah.
Yeah, we thought he hated us. Like we thought he was like, "Ew, what the."
Yeah, like he came in and was like,
because he walked in, he was just like,
who are they?
And his eyes were like really like scared because he had like
a lot of eyeliner on, and his hair is all pushed back.
Strong ass eyeliner.
Yeah.
And I'm like all black. We were like, "Oh my god, Jimin hates us."
Yeah,
like he hates us, bro.
So sad.
Like how are we supposed to talk to him if he hates us? And he was sitting on the couch getting his makeup done. And we were looking, "Oh my god, he's so beautiful." He's just like,
yeah, he was like,
he was like, the lady was there, and we were like, "Oh my god, is he okay?"
Yeah, he's like, you guys like, no.
Yeah, he looked like he wanted to like leave so bad. I was just like, "Oh, I hope he doesn't like hate us or something, or like try not to say hi."
Yeah, he wasn't like that throughout the whole day.
Yeah, he was like that. I guess at that moment he was a little pissed off or something happened.
Yeah.
But in the kitchen part, they were filming and we got
moved. They allowed us to move.
They all moved to the kitchen and we were standing kind of on the side where the couch is, where this couch on next to the statue was right here, and we were sitting there and they were playing Boy in Love and we were like dancing and stuff, right? It was at the part where
Jungkook had like a camera.
You know how they always have cameras with them to film Bangtan Bombs? He had a freaking camera, and we were dancing to Boy in Love. And we
were like dirty dancing. We were like, "Hey," like she was really twerking on me. I remember she was like this. I was like, "Eh."
She was like, "Ooh." I was like, "Yeah, Jungkook's filming, so we gotta dance sexy here." And we were like,
"How you dance sexy if you're not even cute?"
Oh my god.
They like moved outside after they
to the
did
pool
all the
area,
stuff.
To the pool area, yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, you guys can sit in these chairs."
Yeah, you guys can sit out here. Yeah, okay, yeah. So we would sit down, and they would come out sometimes, like one by one. Wasn't it like
to film little interviews?
Pool,
yeah,
or like to film little small interviews or whatever. And we would like look at them, and it was Jin and J-Hope that were sitting on that couch outside.
Yeah, and they were like,
talking and filming something. And we were like, oh, talking about whatever. And we were just looking at them like, wow, they're like right there.
Yeah,
it was like sitting there.
It was really weird because like we were used to seeing them on the TV, and now they're just randomly walking by us
like it's nothing. Like they're just like random like people on the street or something.
They gathered them up so they could come talk to us.
Yeah, but we were inside. We weren't outside when they gathered up.
Yeah, and then when they were like, "Oh, you guys can come back outside."
Yeah, they're like, "Come outside." So we were already outside when they. So we were walking outside to like the pool area, and they were all scattered around, and their staff was saying like, "Oh, come here." Like, we want you to meet somebody. We went outside and we were standing near the pool area, and then they were like, "Oh, come over and meet. Like, we have people to meet for you." And then they all 7 of them, homie.
Like, we're here, and then this is it.
They all came around. I don't know how I didn't cry. I don't know.
If you watch the video, I remember I was like standing there. I kind of moved out of the circle, and so now I was like this. And I was like, "Oh,
I was in the middle, homie. You left me in the middle."
I left because I was like, "This is not okay." And so I went on the outside, and I was standing next to Jimin, and I don't remember who else was standing on the other side of me. Oh no, it was V. And then all of a sudden, Jim's like, "Oh, excuse me," and like came and like stood next to me.
Yeah,
if you watch the video, I'm just like.
But I was in the middle, and I was like instantly trying to talk to Namjoon because I was like, "Oh my god, that's him!" Like, bro, that's Namjoon right there. Like,
oh
dude,
wait,
yeah.
before when we were still sitting like going back when we were still sitting on the chairs, I remember I was like it was
Isn't
Jin
that
and
Nam-
J-Hope,
you said, isn't
and I was
that
like, isn't that
Namjoon?
Namjoon?
Yeah.
And then she was like,
Oh my God.
he had like a cloak of death on. He was like
he
the
looked
Assassin's
so
Creed.
good.
He had like this blonde hair and
He
really
was
dark
wearing all
eyeliner.
black. And he had a chain on. Ooh, and he had like this long cardigan. Ooh, and his hair was like slipped over his eye. Ooh, yes. And he had like this beautiful wing on. Oh. And his lips were so beautiful. Ooh, yes. And he was like looking.
Yeah.
But he noticed Kiani first, and he was like, he
Oh,
complimented
the
her
hair.
That's why I was like,
Why?
he likes your hair. He likes your hair. Like, it's good that you kept it like that. Because he was like, oh, like going like this to Kiani's hair. I was like, see, he likes your hair. She was like,
Still ugly.
No, whatever it is.
and I was like, you know how many girls would kill to be like, oh yeah, I like your hair to Namjoon. Like, he didn't even compliment me. So he thought it was cute, and so I was like waving towards him like frantically because I was like, oh my God, this is Namjoon. And he was like trying to imitate me low key almost.
Oh yeah.
Because he was just like
yeah,
doing like weird faces and going like this and like hoo fangirl. Like, I was just like, okay, whatever, fine. So okay, back to the outside. We were outside. I was in the freaking middle of all 7 of these men. Kiani was just standing in the back, and then I'm talking to Namjoon, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, I told him, I said, oh my God, Namjoon, like, you're my favorite, like, I love you. He was like, oh really?
Oh really? You can hear it in the video.
Oh,
You
really?
have a video, and all you hear is
Oh, really?
All right, that's good.
And then he's like, that's good. And I'm just like, yeah. And then I'm like, can I get a hug? He's like, of course. I'm like, and it went in slow motion. My life was in slow motion. But like, if you look at the pictures, I feel like it was fast, but my life in that moment was slow motion. So I was hugging him, and I like felt his torso, and I was like,
I didn't see her at this time. I don't know where I was.
You were still.
I don't know what I was doing.
I was trying so hard not to touch him inappropriately.
Wait.
So I was hugging him, and I was like feeling his waist, and I was just like, he's so like, I don't even know how to explain it. Lean. There you go.
Yeah.
He's so lean. It's
Cameron
like
does
a
not do
big
him
piece of
justice.
bacon. So lean.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, he smells so good. And then I didn't want to let go, but I was like, this is gonna get awkward if I don't let go in like 5 seconds. So I stopped hugging him, and then
I now remember where I was. So they were like kind of divided. After a while they started dividing up, and so it was like 3 were talking to me, but I wasn't talking because like I'm me. And so I'm just standing here, and I remember it was Jimin was like, so if it was like this, it was like J-Hope, Jimin, and then no. And then Jin? Yeah, okay. And so then I remember I was talking, I said something to J-Hope. I don't remember what it was, but then I was like, oh, and
yeah,
walked
she like totally
right
ignored Jimin.
past Jimin. I'm so upset. Okay, I walked right past him, and he was like, if you look, he was like, oh, and I was like, huh, and I turned right around.
He like tried to gesture like something, but
Yeah,
and she was like talking to Jin, and she was like, you're my favorite.
Sorry. And then I turned to Jin.
She said that.
And then I was like, but I'm Yoongi biased. At
that time.
At that time, it was Yoongi biased. And then I was like, you're my favorite. And he was like, and then we high five.
Yeah.
And
I was talking to V, Namjoon, and Jungkook, and freaking Yoongi. It was like 4 of them, like right in front of me.
yeah.
And
You can hear like Jungkook singing in the
like he's like
background.
singing something. Yeah, he's like singing something. It sounds like a Chris Brown song.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is happening? He's like in the back. He's like low key like dancing or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is he doing? Your mom was recording us. And,
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to like them, and I was like, oh, I know like I know all of your real names like by heart. And then he was like, and then V was like, oh, and then I was like pointing as I was saying the names, and I was like, it's like Taehyun, Namjoon, then Jungkook, and then I said Yoongi, and he was like, oh.
No problem. No problem.
Oh yeah.
Right behind me. He was like, oh, and I was like, what? And he like came from behind me and was looking at me. He was like, so oh, you know? And I was like, yes, I know. And he started laughing.
Because they were like, for some reason, they didn't know that they had fans.
Yeah.
Like they were so surprised by that.
Like Ellen told us, she was like, oh, they didn't think that you guys were here for them. And I was like, why?
Why are we here?
What
Well,
are we
I don't understand.
doing?
We were sitting on a couch singing a song.
Yeah, exactly.
A Korean song.
You could see us singing your song like right across from you. Like
We're not here for 1G, bro.
No offense to Warren G. Like if you're watching
But
this,
we're not
Warren G,
here.
I'm not trying to be mean to you.
You're awesome, but it was just BTS time.
Yeah. How do I
Way
forget about
before,
that?
when we were still sitting outside, the members would come outside and talk to us. I don't remember what we talked about. You remember?
I do remember. It was J-Hope that came out first, and your mom was recording, and then I was talking to I was talking to J-Hope. I was talking to J-Hope about the album, and I was like, oh, I watched the night before. I had watched their cover performance of TVXQ's. I forgot what the song was. I forgot what song. No. It was like one of their new songs. And I was like, oh, I watched your cover, and he was like, oh, really? It was so so hard. Oh yeah, I think it was something. Yeah, and I was like, he was like, oh, really? Thank you. It was so hard. And he was like just saying like one word like English words. And he was so nice. He was just saying like one word English words.
He had his like jacket around his
yeah,
waist,
he was like so cute, and he was really nice. And her mom was she pretty much got like all of it on camera. And like I was telling him that Howdy Ma was my favorite song from the album School Love Affair that I had. And he was like, oh really? And then I started singing it. He started singing it with me. So we were both like, Howdy Ma. and then we were like singing it together, and we started laughing. He was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, you're my hope. And he was like, oh yeah, Hobie, blah blah blah, like doing all that stuff that he does. And then I was telling him like, oh BTS is my biased group, like I really love BTS, like they mean so much to me, like guys' music is amazing, blah blah blah. And he was like, oh thank you. And then he like reached out his hand to like shake my hand, and I was like, oh my god. And I like grabbed him.
Oh yeah, wait, put your hand out. I'm gonna show you exactly what she did. She's like, thank you so much.
Big fan.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
I like slapped the shit. I was like, thank you so much. And he was thank you.
He was like,
And he was
okay.
like, oh my god, thank you. And I was like, thank you so much, I love you, blah blah blah. And he was like, yeah. And we were like, and then we were talking, and then he like went away for a while, and then Jungkook came, and he was just like circling like the perimeter, being all like weird. And I was like, is he gonna talk? And I was like, hi Jungkook, and he was like, hello. I was like, oh, he's so cute. And he doesn't know English that well.
She said something to him. She was like, oh, you're cute or something.
Yeah.
And he was like,
he was like, I was like, oh, he was like, oh, my English isn't that good. And I was like, oh no, it's okay, like you're cute.
You're cute.
So
and then he was like, you're
He's
cute.
like, no, you're cute. And I was like, I looked at the guy and was like, what? I was like, what am I supposed to say? And I was just like laughing, and I was like, oh my god, like thank you, blah blah blah. And he was like laughing, and he was just like, yeah. And I was like, oh my god, what am I supposed to say? Like, I'm so nervous right now, like I was dying. And then I was like asking him, I was like, oh, is it okay if we take a picture, like a selfie? And they were like blabbering for like 5 seconds on like about no SNS. Like no SNS.
We took him anyway.
I was like, what does that mean?
It's only because we weren't supposed to put it out that day.
That day, yeah, because people weren't supposed to know about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what SNS meant, so I was like, what is it? What are you talking about? Like, I don't know what SNS is. And I was like, no, it's okay, no SNS, whatever that means. Like, I'm not gonna do whatever that is.
Oh, don't put it out.
Yeah. So at the time, I didn't know what that meant, but afterwards, I was like, oh, that means like no social media. So then we took the selfie, and then I asked J-Hope if we could take one too, and then I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, she didn't even want to get in the freaking picture.
No, I was like it singly, so I was like, okay, and I would have prepared.
Broke your neck.
I had to grab my arm. I was like, get in the picture, and I was like, let's take a picture.
I was so lost that day.
And so we took it with them, and then that's when everything started happening. That's when the 7 of them came out.
안 나오지 않을까? Yeah.
Okay.
Come.
1, 2, 3.
Like after the picture was taken, there's like pictures of them like all talking to us. But I can only recall me talking to Namjoon and not all of them, but they were all standing around listening and stuff. Before we took the picture, Namjoon was asking me. I was in the middle at this time, and my back was facing the people that were recording, and I was talking to them, and they were like, oh, he was like, oh, so how did you get into K-pop? Like, how do you know about us? And I was like, oh, I was looking for new groups one day, like new groups that just debuted, and I told him that I watched No More Dream. And I was like, oh yeah, but I'm into other like K-pop groups like Big Bang and Girls' Generation, stuff like that. He was like, oh, blah blah blah. We were just talking about about that stuff, and then they were like, oh, let's take the picture now, and they're like, okay. And then Yoongi was like nowhere to be found, but he like all of a sudden ran.
Oh, he like walked into the middle of the entire group.
Like I was like
ready.
All I knew was that I needed to be next to Namjoon in that picture. So I was like holding on to him. I literally was like this. Like I was holding on to him like, don't leave.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna be next to Jin. And then Jimin, first of all, Jimin was like, oh, excuse me, Young.
Yeah.
And Jim, if you look in the back, you see freaking Jin like this in the back of me because Jimin pushed him.
He was like, oh, okay.
Excuse me. And I was like, I watched the video and I see him move in and I'm like,
he was in the back and he was like doing like peace signs behind her head, but Jimin was next to her. And she was like, what the heck? And then freaking I was next to Namjoon. I was like holding him down. I was like, don't, like, I can't move. But then Suga was like he was like, excuse me, and he was like moving people.
He came to the middle.
He was just like this, and I was like, money. Yeah, and then he said my name, but I didn't realize it.
Imani.
We were all shaking their hands and we were like introducing ourselves. And then I said Imani, and then Jungkook like made this joke and he's like, oh, T-Money? T-Money.
Oh, I'm on the wrong side.
And then after all that happened, we were standing near the red chair with the red chairs with the circle table. And Namjoon didn't go film yet, but I was talking to Namjoon first. And I was like recording like some of it, but not trying to be like weird like. So I had it like down here, but like it was still kind of awkward because like you could tell I was trying to film. And I was talking to him about the album and like how much I love it and how inspirational he was to me and blah blah blah, like all that stuff like that. Like, oh, like I love you and your music and you know the group is like really awesome and I'm really into BTS. Like you guys are my bias group. Like I'm so happy to be able to like call myself an ARMY and stuff like that. And he was very like he was really nice. Like he's just honestly like a genuine person. And his English is really good. Like it's not. I wouldn't say you would be like, oh, he's American if you're talking to him, but it would be like just normal. Like there wasn't really a struggle with trying to communicate like what I was trying to say to him. Like I could say everything I wanted to in that moment to him sincerely without him like being like, oh, what did she say? Like, because he was very good at English. It was just really normal, like a really normal like person to person like conversation. Like it wasn't like something at a fan sign where you're just like, oh, I love you.
Run away.
Yeah, and then you get your stuff signed and then you leave. It was more like I'm telling you how much I appreciate you and like how much I love you, and you're interpreting it and actually like appreciating what I'm saying and then like saying thank you and not just like okay, let me sign your album and then you leave. So I was really grateful like for being able to have that experience. Yanni and and Warren G.
I remember he had said something about KCON.
Yeah, I was like,
go to KCON.
Yeah, we can go to KCON. I was like, oh yeah, you guys are going to like KCON and your KCON performance coming up.
He's like, what day?
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, it's in August. He said August, didn't he, or something?
He said some day that
he
was
said
not
some
right.
month that was not incorrect at all.
Yeah,
and I was like, no.
He didn't even know how much the tickets were.
Yeah, he didn't even know. Because we were like, I was like, oh yeah, you guys are going to KCON. Like I'm so excited, happy for you guys. And he was like, oh yeah, it's in August or something. I was like, no, it's in like whatever month it was. Yeah. He was like, oh really? And then he started laughing and like he was getting like shy. He was like, oh, like that. I was like, oh, he's so cute. I was like, no, it's okay. Like I was trying to be all cute. I was like, no, it's okay. And then he was like, oh yeah. And I was like, he's like, are you guys going? And we were like, no, it's too expensive. He's like, how much are they? We were like, 300. He's like, he's like, oh no. And then we were like, yeah, we're not going to that. And then he was asking us questions. He was like, oh, do you guys live in LA? And we were like, yeah. And then that's when Kiani started to speak. He wanted to start talking, and she was like, English. She was like, comfortable. You want me to go to same high school? And I was like, oh my god,
what am I supposed to do?
I was like, why are you telling him this? And I was like, oh, like how do you like LA? And he was like, oh yeah, LA is cool. The people are nice. The weather's good. All this stuff. So it was mostly like a lot of nonchalant talk until I started talking to him about how I felt like about him and BTS. And Suga came over. Oh yeah. And he was just standing there next to Namjoon.
She asked him what he knew about West Side or something.
Oh yeah, I was like, if you're in the West Side, you gotta know how to do the West Side like hand sign. Like you can't just come in LA and not know anything. And I was like, you gotta go like this. And then he was
like a picture of us all
like, yeah, we're all like this and we're like laughing. And Yoongi comes, he's like, oh, West Side, West Side. And I'm like, where'd you come from? And he's like trying to do it. Like they were trying to do it with their fingers. Oh. And we were like, no, you gotta go like this. Like we were like showing them how to do it. Yeah. And then they were like, oh, West Side, yeah.
We were just like,
yeah, man, yeah. Like you know how they like to say that kind of stuff. And then Namjoon, like he wanted to freaking like dap us up. He was like,
Oh yeah, he was like, oh yeah, man, yeah, man.
Yeah, he was like, yeah. And we were like, oh shit, he's getting black right now.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Give him his
yeah,
black
man.
points.
Yeah. He was doing it, man. He was like feeling himself. I was talking to Namji about that stuff, and then Yoongi was right there. And
Cut.
what do you say?
This is very mad. He wanted to ask me if I had church tomorrow.
Do you?
No.
Oh, it's hot.
Okay, after that happened, I was like, he was like, we're getting ready to wrap it up because he had to go film, and I was just like, I was like, oh, I was talking to him about stuff like that, and I was like, oh, I love you, like I love you so much, like thank you, and then he was like, oh, I love you too, like dead ass looking me in the eyes, and like we were like shaking hands and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, and like it was like crazy, like I was just like see, like I don't know, like him saying I love you was like the most like weirdest thing ever, like him just looking at me in the eyes and telling me that he loved me, and I was just like, what am I supposed to say? And then he was like, and then we stopped shaking hands, and then he was like, okay, I gotta go, like, and then we were like, oh bye, and then he left, and then we were just like,
Yeah, we were just kind of like,
what?
Starting to get to the end of the day.
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah.
Like you could like tell it was getting to the end because you could like
Sun
feel
was
it.
going down.
Yeah, the sun was going down. People were packing up.
Everything was going
People were
away.
packing up the equipment. People were
like,
getting
all right,
tired.
let's go.
Yeah, like, all right,
And then,
ready.
like, I don't remember what like happened before that, but I remember like they were like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna go leave now." So they go outside.
Wait, we
and-
have to the part where you went upstairs. That was before
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I was downstairs talking to Yoongi, and Ellen was there. Thank God Ellen was there. She was translating everything because his English isn't very nice. It's okay, but it's not like that good. But he was trying, so I applaud him for that. And we were talking about. I asked him like, oh, because they went to In-N-Out. I was like, oh, did you like In-N-Out? And he was like, oh no, I didn't really like it that much. I prefer Korean food. And I was just like, okay, clearly. And I was asking like, oh, like stuff like, oh, did you like, like we're big fans of BTS and like stuff like that. He was like, no, we didn't expect to have like this many fans come like see us at the airport or like come to, see us in general and stuff like that. Like we were very grateful. And then he was saying like, oh, we want to come back like on a vacation and like hang out with like the fans more when we come back to LA like the next time. And better keep that promise. It wasn't really a promise, but you better keep that, whatever you said. Like, oh my god, he was so nice. And then they all came in. It was getting more towards the end of the day. Like we stopped going outside because they were done filming. And that's when they were all just like chilling around, just sitting on the couches. And we were just like walking around and stuff and like talking to each other about it. And then they were getting ready to leave, and we went outside. We were like getting like our final like things in, like our final words and stuff, and we were like hugging them. And I hugged Jin first, and then after that, Kiani hugged him next.
Yeah.
And then we were like, it was weird. We were just all like walking.
Can I have a hug?
Yeah, we were
He
all.
gave me like some like pat hug, and I was like, no. I was like, you're mine. I didn't say that, but I was like, I'm gonna get this. It's mine.
Yeah, I had my album, and your mom gave me.
Oh,
the
they signed it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like asking.
It's like Young.
Yeah. I
First
was like,
time
I
I had
asked
Young.
Jimin first, and I was like, oh, can you sign my album? And he was like, oh yeah, sure. And then he was like, Young, like, and that was the first time I ever
what?
heard
Yeah,
somebody
me
say
too.
like Young like in a legit like way, and we were just like, oh wow, like this is real. Like
Yeah.
they're like Korean people. It was so weird.
Young, come here, Young.
Yeah, they're like Young, and then they all started coming, and then they were signing my album. And then I asked Jimin for a hug, and he's so nice. But he ended up being nicer towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like he didn't actually.
He's probably
hate
just
us.
really tired.
Yeah, he's probably just tired. And they got into their van, and we were like,
We
all
were
like,
pulled out right behind them, so
yeah,
we
all
were
"Bye."
in
They
the
were like,
car.
"Bye." They were so nice.
Yeah, but like it was really sad because like I remember she was trying to talk to me.
Yeah.
I was in the front seat like, don't talk to me. And then we were like
sad.
driving off, and then
Like it
we
was
could
like
see their heads in the seat.
yeah, it was like the end of Fast and Furious, like when they drive
Oh,
the two different
yeah.
alone.
Yeah, it was so sad.
Like their truck was on this side, and then our car was on this side, and then they drove this way, and then we drove
that way. But like the way down the hill, we were just looking at the back of their heads,
Yeah,
like,
we were
bruh.
just like, oh.
It was
it's really
sad.
over.
Yeah, and then they left.
Like we were just like,
We were just
dang.
like-
And the date honestly wasn't even over. It was like 7 o'clock. It wasn't
Yeah.
even that late. And then we drove.
Dropped you off.
Yeah, we dropped me off,
And
then
I went and got chicken.
Yeah, and then she
I went home.
Yeah, she went home, and then I got in the house, and as soon as I got in the house, I started crying, like for hours, and I was just crying and like screaming everywhere, and then the next day I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I was up for hours, and I didn't get any sleep.
Insomnia AF.
Yeah, and then a couple of days after that, we told you guys. And then
We went to
the next day.
concert.
Was
The next day was a concert.
Yeah. And that was really nice. And then
I remember
we
Molly
should have
texted
a-
me. She was like, I gotta tell you something, and I was in Hawaii, and then she was like, I gotta tell you
I'm the
something.
one who said I told her.
told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like telling all you. I was
I
like,
couldn't help it.
And you were like, guess who we hung out with? That
She's like, you can't tell anybody.
yeah, but we
I
couldn't
guess
tell.
so.
We couldn't tell anybody until after American Hustle Life came out.
Yeah.
Because they were like, don't say anything because nobody knows about this. But I don't know. We gotta meet them now.
Yeah.
And
Plus,
also,
we don't. I don't.
Mnet, if you're watching this right now,
Give us our footage.
no. You have the permission to.
Oh.
You have both of our permission, our parents' permission, okay, our legal guardian's permission to air our footage.
Please put it on
Please
there.
put the footage.
If not,
on there.
give it to us.
Yeah, if not, email it to us or something, please.
because we want it.
Mnet, you can put it you can air it, we don't care. Stop airing stupid things. And also, if anybody finds this to send this to BTS, please come back to LA for American Hustle Life and please call us up. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, and Jin, I'm not ugly anymore. I'm so sorry. I will never do it to you ever again. I love you, and Jin, I'm gonna talk to you, but Jin, I love you.
Please come back to LA for American Hustle Life. Do not go to New York. You will regret it. You will hate it. You won't like it.
Don't do it.
Come back here.
If you think people were mean there,
Exactly.
here, don't go there.
Yeah, you will
No
not like it.
offense
Come
here.
back. If it wasn't for her, my dreams would have became true.
Yeah.
Well, low-key yours wouldn't have either. You wouldn't have realized your love for Jin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So now
So
this
it's just
is
a good
my
experience.
second bias group. I know a
Yeah.
lot. I watch them a lot. Thank you.
Now she's ready for the second time. If you guys want to tweet this video to BTS, or you want to
Yes, tweet
do
it.
whatever, you
Please.
send this to BTS seriously,
'Cause
and
we
tell
love you.
them to invite us
Tag
to it next
at
time they do.
It's
Yeah.
Rouge. Oh,
And
yeah.
watch some rude stuff.
Yeah,
Because we're
and
about
tell
to
them-
get you.
Tell them to come
About
back
to
for
slay
us.
your game.
Yeah.
Seriously, because tell them we need to see them again, so
You
we
will
can
look better.
because this is not only for us but for you guys.
Yeah.
Because as an army and as somebody whose bias group is BTS, I have a lot of friends on Tumblr. I love you guys. I like when you guys ask me questions, or when we're talking about BTS. Our bond is really great, and being an army is amazing, and it's changed me for the better. So it's not only just us meeting BTS just to be selfish, but it's also for you guys because there's a lot of armies that are
A lot of questions
that
guys
have a lot of questions about them personally, and we're willing to give that to you from the perspective of somebody who's not a Korea boo, or somebody who'll do something in a harassing way to them.
Yeah.
We're just personally BTS fans here to just be friends with
Yeah.
them first, before trying to do anything.
And it's not
else.
even in some sort of weird way. These
Yeah.
are actually really cool
Cool
people.
people.
Once you meet
They're
them,
human beings.
you know that they're
Yeah.
just cool. And why not want to be friends with
Yeah,
someone
why
that?
not want to see what they're as a normal person?
Yeah.
So just to tell you guys that we're just not only doing this for us, but also for you guys. Because a lot of people on Tumblr tell me oh, you give me hope that one day I'll be able to meet them and it'll just be
You
everything
will.
I've ever wanted. Yeah,
Yeah.
you will. They'll always come back. It's not they're not gonna want to come back. That's this is their second home.
Yeah.
They even say that themselves. So I'm glad that we can give you hope to inspire you to be able to think, oh, one day I'll be able to meet them. It'll be normal. Because it will, because they're nice. They're just normal people.
And they really
Just
love
really
their
sexy.
fans. They really love their fans.
They do.
They don't even know they have fans.
They still don't know they have fans, which is so weird. They're so humble and nice. If you guys want to ask me more questions,
I think she needs
on
more
Tumblr,
to make. Yeah.
Yeah,
then
we'll come
you-
back for
yeah,
the
we'll
airport
come-
I can-
concert.
Like
yeah.
we can make another video about questions from Tumblr and we can answer those. Ask me questions on Tumblr and then we'll make another video about the concert
next
and then
week.
the
Yeah,
airport.
okay. More of a Q&A. This is more of a story time, yeah?
It's a kind of a part 1, part 2. This is not
Yeah.
the final video. You guys want to see my wallpaper?
Her wallpaper is a picture of a
It's
belly.
a picture of a beautiful tummy.
A belly.
No,
There's
I
a
want to
belly.
kiss your mole. Okay. I hope you don't think that's weird. I'm sorry.
There's a belly on her wallpaper.
This is an
It's
actual
a
picture.
belly.
If you guys know Namjoon, you know this is his stomach. I love his stomach.
Okay, well, since that's her picture, that's my picture. All right.
Let me see.
Rouge.
I
Signing up?
have a background of sugar. If you guys want to see that.
What is that?
Oh, green.
Oh my goodness. Alright.
All right. So
Okay, this has been 2/4 of Rouge.
And then 3
Rouge.
and 4 over here in the back.
hurry up. Oh, Rouge.
Sign out!
Oh,
Wait, what do we say?
Oh, what are we?
Rouge.
Bourgeois.
1, 2, 3.
On fire! What? What was
Set on
that?
fire.
Peace.
Bye, guys. I love you, Army.
Signing
Thank
out.
you for supporting me.
See you in the next video.
I love you, Army. Thank you for supporting
Be ready!
We're bringing the fire.
Love you guys.
We're practicing.
Thank you for supporting me.
Do it.
Yep.
Shout out to everybody that follows me on Tumblr and asks
Shout out to
things and people that reblog.
back her.
I just love you, Army. You guys changed my life.